Welcome to the Virtual Startup Challenge Roundtable. This year we've invited a lot of very interesting startups to pitch their most amazing ideas about how we can work together to improve the sustainability of our customers in the area of energy, asset management, manufacturing operations. Industry and commercial buildings together contribute to more than 40% of global emissions. That's why we believe that solving the challenge for the industrial operations is very important in order for us to achieve the overall objective for the planet. And that's why ABB, ourselves, we've committed to reduce our own carbon emissions by 100% in the next 10 years, by 2030. And also we've committed to help our customers reduce their emissions annually by 100 million megaton of emissions by 2030. That is equivalent to 30 million of combustion cars. The winner for the Smart Power Challenge is Pivot Energy Services, and we've awarded a contract of $30,000 to co-develop a proof of concept with us in the area of energy management solution. Today, I'm joined with Tim Meanock, the CEO of Pivot Energy Services, and Giampiero Frisio, who is the president for the Smart Power division in ABB Electrification, to discuss what can we do together to achieve the net zero emissions. Giampiero, first, over to you. What exactly you were looking for when you put up the idea for the Startup Challenge this year?
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's just a pleasure to be here. One of the things that we wanted to do is to have an easy digital tool to start a conversation with our customers in order to show to them what is the potential of energy saving that they could have and so improve substantially their sustainability part.
Interesting, and indeed there are a lot of data available, right? There is a data coming from European Commission, Eurostat. There is International Energy Agency. The national agency provide the data and the objectives on the emissions. So the objective of the tool is to take this data and create the benchmark that could be compared with the actual performance of the site. So, Tim, a question to you. How easy is that to combine all this data from different sources to create the meaningful benchmark in order to create the baseline for the emissions gap analysis and the recommendations?
Good question. The answer is that we're collecting very well-defined and standardized measurements on a robust list of parameters. The platform then makes intelligent inferences to bridge data gaps. So these parameters include size, use, location of buildings, the level of renewable energy within the grid, the security of supply of that energy, pricing, weather data, local emissions targets and incentives. From here, the platform can calculate statistical averages, and these create the benchmarks for consumption and emissions, and it's these that can then be compared to the customer site. This is the part of the tool that we're developing now with ABB. Once this is established, we can then move on to further iterations of the app, which will consider the financing aspects. So once we have the benchmarks, we can generate fundable business cases that take into account the cost of the equipment, the installation, and the operating costs. And these business cases are designed to take the customer site to the benchmark. Pivot's risk analytics connect directly to performance guarantees, to insurance, and from here we can propose financing options. What we're talking about really is a new equipment as a service model, wrapped in a familiar format in order that the customers can find easier ways to get sustainable. As a result of this model, if the equipment and the performance does not come through and the savings are less than you expected, then you don't pay, and the finance provider can pick up the difference, the shortfall, through the insurance. This is the evolution of the as-a-service model.
Yeah, I do believe that It's a great, I think, first of all, business model team. And I do believe that this is very inspiring for all the potential owners and our customer, because you combine together a great tool that can show the benchmark on how much they could save. In the meantime, you could reduce the risks from the financial standpoint.
Exactly. And there is a lot of appetite from insurance and finance providers to join with the equipment providers like ABB to supply and market this equipment as a service model. And together, there is a real opportunity to decarbonize industry and buildings at scale. And the level of scale that, in conjunction, this model can operate at would really drive economies into the process and lower transaction costs. So it creates a virtuous circle of revenue. Invest, decarbonize, earn money, and repeat.
Great point, Tim. And the timing is very right. We were all put on alert in August this year by the Intergovernmental Panel about the climate change. There is enormous effort that we need to put in place on our net zero carbon programs in order to meet the objective of the Paris Agreement to reach the 1.5 degrees targets. Giampiero, in terms of the countries where we would like to roll out the proof of concept, what are those? And also, what about the impact? Can we really get a substantial emission reduction by 2030?
Yeah, from the implementation standpoint, we are thinking to make a massive deployment in more than 20 countries, starting from China to Australia, a large part of Europe, United States, Saudi Arabia, Canada, Brazil, all of those countries that also signed the Paris Agreement. We do believe that with such a huge deployment in all of those countries, we can reach a big achievement of energy saving, and we can help our customers with the new technology and with these new tools to reach their sustainability targets and their net zero emissions.
Absolutely, and that's great. That's why exactly we will be putting the Pivot solution on the ABB Ability Marketplace by the end of the year, and we'll include it in our free energy management trial. Thanks a lot for joining me today for the conversation, and we'll look forward to the next steps.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure, and there is still a lot of work that need to be done, but we are committed to help our customer to reach the net zero targets with this also new tools and technology with the joint efforts with Pivot Energy.
Many thanks to. We're really, really excited to partner with ABB and help scale up this proposition, and together enable building managers in many of those countries that you noted, Giampiero, to make meaningful climate action. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Thank you.